Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Pinetop-Lakeside Town Council to order. We do have a quorum. I would ask that you make sure that your cell phones are silenced. And please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and let's remain standing for the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Vice Mayor.
Our Father in heaven, as we gather together for this council meeting this evening, we're so thankful for the opportunity we have to live in this beautiful community and to live in this free country that we live in. We're mindful of those who serve in our armed forces and protect those freedoms that we enjoy, and pray thy Spirit to be with them and guide and protect them, bless them and their families, especially at this Christmas season. We are thankful for this Christmas season and thankful for our first responders that we have here locally. Bless them. We're thankful also for our dedicated employees that we have here at the town of Pinetop-Lakeside, and pray that thou would watch over and protect them and bless them with health and well-being. We're thankful for the moisture received a while ago, and pray that thou would send more moisture to our lands to invigorate our forests and help with our situation here. Now this evening, as we gather and discuss important matters for the town, we pray that thou would bless us with wisdom and understanding as we look at what would be best for our community. These blessings we ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Item B on our agenda is called to the public. This is a business meeting of the Town Council. The town values and welcomes public input. Please address the council as a whole and not individual council members. Do not address staff or members of the audience. Council action on items brought up and called to the public is limited by the open meeting law. Council may direct staff to study the matter and reschedule it for further consideration at a later date. Items on the agenda are not heard during call to the public, and individuals are limited to 3 minutes. We have several requests tonight. First, Mike Moffenbeier.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Irwin, Vice Mayor, members of the council, staff, friends, and neighbors. My name is Mike Moffenbeier, and for those of you who do not know me, I'm here wearing 2 hats tonight. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce for Pinetop-Lakeside, and I'm also a local business owner. That means I not only represent our business community, but I live day-to-day realities of running a business in this town. I see firsthand how your decisions affect our local economy, our workforce, and the quality of life we all value. As we reflect on 2025, I want to sincerely thank this council for your continued support of local businesses and community-driven initiatives. Your openness to dialogue, your willingness to collaborate, and your understanding of the balance between growth and preservation have made a real difference this year. There are a few accomplishments I'd like to highlight, beginning with the successful return of the Fall Artisan Festival. Bringing this event back was more than just putting a date on the calendar. It strengthened our local economy, supported artists and small businesses, and brought residents and visitors together in a way that truly reflects the spirit of Pinetop-Lakeside. Events like this showcase of what makes our town unique and reminds people of why shopping and investing locally really matters. Thanks to 3 generous local businesses, we were able to continue the Color Fun Run, an event that was previously funded by the town. Additionally, we recently launched the Explore Pinetop-Lakeside app designed to assist local businesses in achieving their goals. Recently, we held board elections and brought on 2 new board members, one who's here tonight, ensuring the stability and forward-thinking progress of the Chamber. As a business owner, I can say that your leadership helps create an environment where businesses can plan, grow, and reinvest while maintaining the small-town character and sense of community that brought many of us here in the first place, like me. That balance isn't easy, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Looking ahead, the Chamber remains committed to working alongside you in supporting economic vitality, encouraging responsible development, and fostering opportunities that benefit residents, visitors, and businesses alike. As we move to the holiday season, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce for Pinetop-Lakeside, In our local business community, thank you for your service, your collaboration, and your dedication to this town. We wish you and your families a joyful holiday season and a happy, healthy, and successful 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate those kind words. Rob Ingalls.
Good evening, council and staff. Thank you for allowing the public to address you at this time. I will say that what a year it's been. A lot of changes. And as I'm looking at you as a council tonight and our present staff, the openness and the willingness to be accepting change and looking ahead as the new year comes around, it's an exciting time for me as a citizen to see. I'm going to share that I was a little disappointed in our legislature in the state of Arizona on the House Bill 2447 that took away the public hearings in certain aspects of development. I'm disappointed because I feel that some of the qualities that make life in Pinetop-Lakeside especially nice are the natural environment, and oftentimes it's citizens that address issues in public hearings that cause development to be more sensitive to what they do in projects, and I think improve their projects as well as the qualities for the people that live around them. So I'm hopeful that now with a new chairman and vice chairman on the Planning Commission that we'll see some opportunities to still interact instead of just the community development director that the new House bill has given so much authority to make development much easier. The thought of having some citizen committees might be helpful in the new year to engage more of the public with council and staff actions. There's been an ongoing, I think, good attendance at the Coffee with the Council on the second Tuesdays, I believe, monthly, and some of the individual council people, as well as the mayor and staff that's been there. I think that's a great time for our citizens and visitors, actually, to share with the council. Trees that are dying due to drought and bark beetle are kind of a concern for, I think, our community, and to see the year ahead maybe bring more activity with the state forestry, a town forester, and look at trying to minimize the tree loss that we would have along the highway and all. Basically, I feel very blessed to have as much of my life as I have in the Pinetop-Lakeside community, and will continue to try to be involved as a proactive citizen in here. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for your passion for our community. Larry McCormick.
Steve Schutte wrote a letter that each of you, I think, were delivered a copy of. And they're in the valley for the holidays, and with the rescheduled meeting, he asked me to read some excerpts from his letter. Skipping the first couple paragraphs, skipping to the third one. As the leaders of Pinetop-Lakeside, I see you and the 6 other town council members having a wonderful opportunity to get our town back on track, to be the best that we can with what we have to work with. I would implore you to take the time required to look back at the town's financial statements, check registers, P-card expenditures spanning the last 3 or 4 years, analyzing and carefully going over them, questioning entries glaringly and that need further investigation and explanation. I do not have a financial background as you do, but even I see glaring irregularities. If you'll spend the time to study them, I believe the town can recuperate illegally procured funds and begin to implement beneficial changes, hopefully alongside a new town manager who understands the importance of following code, statute, and law. It is time for Pinetop-Lakeside to get back on the positive track, starting a new era of transparency by returning to strictly adhering to all established town procedures and state laws. As our town's elected officials, you have a fiduciary responsibility to properly oversee the use of town funds. It would be my hope that you will immediately pursue the implementation of a new course of action, returning the town to a productive and positive path, a path that some of us have already seen glimpses of as questions of accountability have recently been posed, and which I hope we will learn from. Personally, some of the changes that I've seen recently have actually given me glimmers of hope, but more changes and answers to past violations are needed. Saying all the above, I strongly urge you to invite the state of Arizona's Auditor General to go through the town's most recent years of finances, spending, and procedures to help the town get back on track. I feel that the requesting that the service be performed will demonstrate full transparency, alleviate the public's perception of hidden agendas, and either reveal nothing or reveal in other proper made town expenditures. It is up to you, seven, to make the right decision for this to happen.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll move then on to item C, which is our consent agenda. All items listed are considered routine matters and will be acted by one motion of the council. There will be no separate discussion of the items unless a member of town council requests that an item or items be removed for discussion. Council members may ask questions without removal of the items from the consent agenda, and items removed are considered their normal sequence unless called out of sequence. We have one item on our consent agenda. Are there any questions from the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, I would entertain a motion then. Vice Mayor?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Thank you. That carries unanimously. Thank you for bringing that to us tonight, Stacy. Item D is business before the council. Public comment will be taken at the beginning of each agenda item after the subject has been announced by the mayor and explained by staff. Any citizen who wishes may speak one time for 5 minutes on each agenda item, either before or after council discussion. Questions from council members, however, may be directed to staff or a member of the public through the mayor at any time. Item D1 is the presentation of November 2025 financial report. On the phone, we have our finance director, Gabe Boulder. Gabe, welcome. You're ready to take us through this?
Yes, I am. Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Hope everybody's doing well, and Merry Christmas. You have the November financial report in the packet. Starting off, revenue for the month of November, we did bring in the general fund a total of $3.4 million year to date. We're sitting, the breakdown of that is about $2.5 million from TPT collection. Other taxes are at $807,000, and non-tax revenue sitting at $120,000. Our sales tax revenue, TPT revenue, has been improving. I know if council remembers, we did start off the year about 6% behind where we were last year, 1.5% behind. So we have seen some improvement as we've gone through the fiscal year. Construction revenue remains down, as well as commercial rentals. But that's being made up with retail sales up about 2.3%, and our restaurant and bar sales tax revenue up about 6.7%. On the expenses, hold on a second, my apologies. Don't know where our breakdown on expenses have gone as far as percentages, but to kind of explain this for the council, personnel, the green part is sitting at 73.5% of total expenditures. The orange section is our operation expenses at 7%. The little small section that's almost kind of hidden there is training at 0.4 of council members. There was kind of a pause on a lot of the training this year to help kind of improve our financial position. And our administrative and managerial expenses, which is the blue part, are at 19%. The other piece that's kind of missing is our general fund expenditures by department. And right now we're sitting at total expenses through November at 3.1 million, which is 32.5% of our budget. And to kind of put that in reference, through November would be at 42%. So we're actually trending well under budget in totality on our expenses, with one real variance that's not due to timing, and that's under our fleet maintenance. And that's really just related to, obviously with fleet, things break, and that's at 50%, which is really only over by about $8,000 on a $102,000 budget. On our other funds, non-general fund, you can see we're sitting at 6% at $2,041,000 expended through the month of November on our non-general fund accounts. And as you can see, again, most of those are all, even the ones that like parks and HERF that aren't, related to grants or special funding, those are all tracking pretty much right on track with where we should be through this part of the year. As far as fund balance goes, the general fund cash as of November 2025, we're at 1.4 million in the general fund, which is up month over month by 157,000. But again, we're still down from the previous year by 4.1 million. Our projected balance, though, with the changes implemented by staff in council, we're sitting at projected year-end balance till about 1.45 million. So I am happy to see that we're getting towards that goal of improving fund balances and still on track with that. So unless there's any other questions, that is my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you, Gabe. Are there any questions from the council? Okay, I don't think we have any. So thank you for being on the phone with us tonight, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mayor, and I look forward to see you guys in January.
Sounds good. Okay, we'll move on then to item D2, which is discussion and possible legal action of resolution number 1797, approving a memorandum of understanding with Navajo County for sexual assault and multidisciplinary response team participation. Chief Barnes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We're seeking approval tonight for this updated MOU through Navajo County for the Sexual Assault Response Team, known as SART, to promote a multidisciplinary collaborative response that provides a coordinated, immediate, victim-centered response to sexual assault. The SART team recognizes best practices in providing supportive coordination and collaborative partnership with law enforcement as members of the multidisciplinary team. Typically, we assign our criminal investigator to this team to assist when needed on sexual assault cases, case review, case updates, information sharing, and periodic planning meetings. There's no financial piece to this at all other than potential overtime if our detective is out assisting with cases outside of our area for the team itself. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Dan. Any questions? I'd entertain a motion then. Councilor Heisler?
I move to adopt resolution number 25-1797, entering into a memorandum of understanding between the Navajo County Sexual Assault Response Team, SART, and the Pinetop-Lakeside Police Department.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. That carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Item D3 tonight is information, discussion, and possible legal action to approve amendments to Town Policy Manual Section 203, Paragraph B and C, overtime compensation or compensatory time, through resolution number 25-1798. Christy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am going to ask Commander Wilkie is going to come up and talk about the schedule change that's going to happen with the police department. I'm just going to explain the policy part of that. So right now in our policy manual, it states that we work on a 5-day period, 40 hours. There's nothing in there for law enforcement. And under the Fair Labor Standards Act, there's a 7K exemption for law enforcement that they can work anywhere from 7 consecutive days all the way up to 28. This schedule is going to be a 14-day period for our police officers. So with that, we had to change it from the 5-day to or 7-day to a 14-day. And it doesn't mean they're not going to get any overtime, but they won't hit overtime until they hit 80 hours within 14 days. So I'm going to let Commander Wilkie explain that schedule, but they want to start that January 1st. I have to be able to put that in the policy manual under non-exempt law enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Commander?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I'll explain the schedule itself here in just a minute, but as far as the exemption that we're looking for under the 7K, it's a 14-day work period, so it's not, the officers aren't working 14 days in a row. It just gives us a little more latitude that within that 14 days, there's still the 80-hour threshold for overtime. So anything worked over 80 hours in that 14-day period would be paid at overtime. So we don't have to worry about individual weeks anymore for the patrol officers. So the schedule itself, we've been on the same schedule since I've been here. So I'd say we're kind of in a rut with that schedule. And for patrol officers, every patrol officer works part of the weekend. So they either work Sunday through Wednesday or Wednesday through Saturday. And, depending on what shift they're on, kind of depends on how much of the weekend they actually get. So it was brought to our attention of this alternate schedule, and we've looked at stuff before, but it never seemed to play out. But this is a nationally recognized schedule that's called the Pittman, or there's another name for it, but the Pittman schedule. So it's a 14-day cycle of the officers rotating between 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off. So the way it works out for us, I know it's hard to follow when I'm just blurting out a bunch of numbers, but within that 14-day period, basically every patrol officer will get a 3-day weekend on one weekend. They have to work the weekend the other week, but every other week they get a 3-day weekend. So for us, that's something that they haven't seen, like I said, since I've been here, and my understanding is they haven't seen in quite a long time. So the schedule still works out where there's 36 hours in one week and 48 hours in the other week. So it's an 84-hour schedule. With the exemption, we could have gone with the way the federal standard reads on a 14-day cycle. We could have gone up to 86 hours before we started paying overtime. But we decided, and we spoke with legal on all this stuff, we decided to go with still an 80-hour threshold because it will not affect our officers' paychecks as of right now, and it won't affect our budget as far as any extra expenditures. So with this, it's supposed to be a better quality of life. We're not affecting their paycheck, and it doesn't cost the town any more money, so we feel it's like a win all the way around.
Thank you. I think that sounds like a great plan, and I imagine our officers are kind of excited about that.
Yes.
Good.
It's different, and nobody really knows exactly how it's going to feel until we do it, I think. The thing I didn't mention, between day shift and night shift, there's a 56-day cycle for that. So it's similar to what we do now. Basically, every 2 months, they're rotating from day shift to night shift. So they get to settle in that cycle for a little bit, but not get burned out on it.
Okay. Thank you, Commander. Any questions or comments?
Yes.
Councilor Phillips.
So in the 80-hour work cycle, if I call in sick on a Tuesday and I burn a sick day, does that sick day count as time worked to calculate overtime? So at the end of that 80-hour work, and now I pick up an overtime, am I getting time and a half, or am I going to get straight time?
Now it works on the 14-day cycle. So within that 14-day cycle, they have to physically work 80 hours before they start getting overtime. So yes, if they take time off, whether it's sick leave or vacation, they would have to physically work 80 hours before they start getting overtime.
So additionally, he'd have to work in that work period 88 hours before he would pick up overtime because he already took a sick day. If it was an
I don't know how much time they took off, yes.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Counselor Heiser?
I was just wondering if we left the latitude within policy that, 3 months down the road, the officers don't like this. I mean, I don't know what you guys have worked out, but is there the latitude to then go back if that's the direction that you guys decide?
The majority wanted to commit to this for a year because they like to be able to plan out their full year, especially for this time of year. So they all wanted to see on our schedule that where it played out for this time of year. So we've committed that we're going to try to stick with it for a year. Now, we also threw out there that if this thing like totally blows up and everybody hates it, then there's still, we can still change it.
But a year from now, we could go, the latitude's there to go back to the
Yeah.
original
Yes.
schedule. This is just allowing us to try the new schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Wait a minute.
Just a
Vice
quick
Mayor?
question. And from what I read in here, everybody is on board with that, to try the new one.
12 out of the 13 patrol personnel are on board. So part of this agreement, in state statute, it reads that the employer and the employee have to have an agreement to go to an alternate work cycle. So again, through the advice of our attorney, we came up with an actual form. So it would be very formal and it'd be in writing that we all agreed on this. We had one officer that didn't feel like he wanted to sign that form. So that officer is going to stay on a 40-hour work week cycle. And we have him fit in the schedule where he's still an asset to the schedule and can help the schedule, but he's not going to be on the same cycle as all the other officers.
Is that going to cause scheduling problems, or you have it figured out?
It's figured out.
Good.
It's set right now and it's good. It actually gives us an extra body in the times that we need it, kind of the afternoon times towards the weekends. So it actually kind of works to our benefit.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Counselor Heiser?
I move to adopt resolution number 25-1798, approving the amendments to Town Policy Manual, Section 203, paragraphs B and C, to establish a 14-day work period for eligible non-exempt law enforcement personnel in accordance with the FSLA 7K partial overtime exemption.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Thank you. That carries unanimously. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate that. Item D4 on our, D4 is the monthly town manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to be watching the screen a little bit along with this too, because I do have quite a few pictures. With the holidays coming up, we've had a lot of events, then we have a lot of really good pictures that I want to be able to share with you and the citizens. I attended Coffee with Council on Tuesday, December 9th. Rob Ingles spoke of a few of the topics. A few of the key topics were the bark beetle education, kind of asking if we could start doing something on our Talk of the Town or something for a bark beetle education. So Annie has said that she would work with us to come up with some stuff to share with the public on all the trees that everyone has noticed that are dying. There was talks of the House Bill 2447 that went to planning and zoning on the 11th, which will be coming to council in an upcoming meeting in probably the beginning of February. We talked about home rule, which is going to be on the ballot for 2026. I also attended the People's Voice Committee meeting at the beginning of the month. They talked a bit about the town manager hiring process. I believe Annie couldn't make it, so she had emailed over to them some of the process. And then Save Our Park was there to talk about the Adopt a Acre program supporting the Woodland Lake acquisition. The Chamber of Commerce meeting this month was actually really cool. Local business owners were all able to stand up and talk about their businesses and give a little plug and kind of show what they can do, highlight their business. I really enjoyed that because there were some businesses there that I didn't know what they did. So I enjoyed that. Because of the town's financial findings and leadership turnover in the last 6 months, I felt it was important that we had an overall report on how we were doing and what we could do better. So I hired an independent human resources consultant who gave us a very, very detailed organizational climate assessment report when it shared a lot of things that we're doing right and which showed me that we have a solid foundation of employees. It also showed us some places that we could improve. In the report, there was results for employee morale, leadership and direction, communication and transparency, operations, policies and processes, employee support, training, and recognition. A common theme across all departments. It seemed like it was funny because you'd think one department would have this and one, but there was a common theme, and a lot of it was just communication. So yesterday we had an all-employee meeting, and we talked about a timeline of how we found out about the financial deficits for the town, and then we had a Q&A, and I was actually really impressed with all the employees stepping up and asking questions that they wanted answers to. So I appreciated the time that they spent sharing their thoughts with the outsourced human resources consultant and also at our meeting yesterday. I'm going to go on to the Public Works Department here. I'm going to brag on Frank Naranjo and his parks crew and whoever else helped him. Is he still here? Hi, Frank. This is the police department. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen lights on the police department, and if you've done them before, I'm sorry. I didn't see them. But I drove around the night of the Christmas tree lighting and took pictures of all the facilities because they look great. So this is the police department. This is the library. This is Jack Barker Park. I didn't get a very good picture, I'm sorry, but go over there. The lights are awesome. This is Town Hall from one angle. So I just wanted to highlight the work they did because that's a lot of facilities and the lights that they put up on the crew that they're working with. So thank you, Frank and Melina. Yesterday, I'll get to that in a minute, but yesterday 2 public works staff members drove the recently repaired belly dump truck to Flagstaff and picked up 20 pallets of dog food for the White Mountain Humane Society. I went by there yesterday and they had just got done offloading all 20 pallets, and they were very thankful for the town going over and picking up the food in Flagstaff from Purina, I think. Yeah. See, water valves at Top of the Woods have been raised. The town is coordinating with Arizona Water. Arizona Water is going to pour concrete rings around the valves, and asphalt patching will occur when Perkins Hot Plant is back up and running. So right now, the Top of the Woods subdivision is getting buttoned up. Let's see. The Parks Division completed culvert installations at Mountain Meadow with support of the streets crew. They completed construction of a manhole cleanout box. So I think that's just what it sounds like. The collection center has slowed down, and it's typical for this time of year, but the staff at the collection center continues to promote membership cards. And then I wanted to share that the Christmas tree drop-off program will happen again this year. It's going to be, we're kind of extending it. It's a little longer this year. It's going to be from December 27th through January 11th. After January 11th, you can still do a tree drop-off. It will be $3 for residents and $5 for non-residents. They just ask that trees are free of wire hooks, lights, tinsel, and other types of decorations. The collection center hours are Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, Saturday and Sunday 9 to 12. And the collection center, along with other town offices, will be closed on January 1st and 2nd. A little bit of exciting news. Eric De La Garza has officially accepted the position of the collection center supervisor, and he's looking forward to strengthening local partnerships and increasing facility usage. And I know he's here somewhere. Congratulations, Eric. The fleet department continues to work on the roll-off truck and working on routine vehicle maintenance. Interim Public Works Director Melina Spillman hosted a holiday lunch for Public Works staff today, which council members were invited to. I stopped by, and I heard great reviews, and especially on Buddy's smoked turkey that he brought to that lunch today. So Melina, thank you for doing that for your staff. Public Works will be assisting with the Evergreen Christmas light display road closures on Fridays and Saturdays through December 27th from 5:30 to 7. The road will be closed so you can park and walk down it and feel safe as you're walking down enjoying the lights on Evergreen Drive. I'm going to move on to community services. And the town has interviewed 5 candidates for the community services director position. 3 candidates will move forward to a second interview on December 30th. We were really pleased with the amount. We had 5 applicants and they were all really impressive. The mayor's tree lighting was a success. Actually, Annie called me right after we left the mayor's tree lighting and was so thankful and said that she felt like she had so much support this year and she was really appreciative of that. So I just want to share a couple photos here because it was a fun night. I also want to thank Mike and Linda Moffenbauer who were there serving coffee and hot chocolate to the crowd that night. There's Mayor Irwin giving her speech. Santa was there. The Grinch was there, and we want to also thank Karen Rubin with State Farm for serving up a ton of free popcorn. There's Dan Barnes, so Rusty and the Grinch. Just for fun. And this is the mayor's, not the mayor's, well, there's several members of the mayor's youth advisory, but this is the Blue Ridge High School choir, and they sang right as the light was, or the tree was lit, and then walked around kind of doing some caroling, and they have beautiful voices. So if you haven't heard them, it's worth listening to. There are no additional town-hosted events planned until Easter. That's going to be our next event. Marketing efforts that are happening right now. Andy's going to start helping to support Sunrise and help attract visitors to the mountain. They're having a slow start up there at Sunrise, so anything we can do to help our partners, we're gonna help them. So Andy's also going to be launching a Pray for Snow campaign, so we'll be watching for that soon. Talk of the Town will be released tomorrow. Annie intentionally released it a little bit late so that she could have a press release in there for the town manager hiring status. And with that, I'm going to move on to, oh, that's another good picture of the Public Works crew at the tree lighting. Oh, there's another one. That's the staff with Santa and the Grinch. All right, we're going to go on to the police department now. All right, the police department served lunch today at the Senior Community Center along with Councilmember Phillips. They always appreciate the town's help with serving lunch to the citizens there. Officer Gabe Gowda and K9 ARCO graduated from K9 Certification and Handling School yesterday. Chief Barnes was able to make the trek down to Tucson to be there for the graduation. And K9 ARCO and Gabe Gowda will work their first full shift together next Wednesday. Sirens and sleigh bells. Executive Secretary for the Police Department, Priscilla De La Garza, was a huge, well, I think she organizes this whole thing, you guys. She's a huge help to the sirens and sleigh bells. 90 children participated. 8 families weren't able to attend the day of the event, but a total of $13,537 was paid to Walmart for this meaningful program. Priscilla shared that the greatest takeaway was that unity among agencies volunteering together to create positive, memorable experiences for children. The police department will implement its new work schedule January 1st with the goal of improving work-life balance and reducing burnout, which we already talked about. But here's another, this is the Mayak kids handing out the bags that they did for sirens and sleigh bells, and they had so much fun doing it. I'll just leave it on that picture for a few minutes. In the Community Development Department, Jeremiah held a planning and zoning meeting on December 11th. The commission voted to recommend approval of House Bill 2447 to council. That will come to council, like I said, at the beginning of February. The town clerk's department is preparing for the 2026 election and right now getting kind of the candidate packets together so they'll be able to get picked up towards the end of January. We are also beginning to work on a home rule information and education campaign. The library manager, Betsy Peck, shared that the Santa's workshop was held on December 9th at the White Mountain Nature Center. The event was hosted by Friends of the Library, and Betsy said that was a huge success. They did a wonderful job. The library continues to offer programming for all ages. Program schedules are available on the town's website under the calendar of events. That is it for my department reports, but I do want to share some honorable mentions. And Ms. Priscilla here. Hi, Priscilla. This one's about Priscilla. So I wanted, not only did Priscilla work really hard on sirens and sleigh bells, she wanted to do something special for all the employees of the town. So she did a flyer. She called and got my blessing, which of course I'm going to do because she took this on herself, and got Santa to come and take pictures with family, staff members here at Town Hall on Saturday. And Annie saw this awesome sleigh and reindeers at Lowe's and said, how awesome would this be for the mayor's tree lighting? That's over $1,000 right there. It's not in our budget. So we thought, well, maybe we can work with the police department and we can figure something out. And Priscilla went down to Lowe's and talked to them to try to get a discount, and they one-upped her. They gave it to us. So that will be here for Santa's pictures on Saturday. And Dan is so excited about Santa sleighs that he has offered to store it so that we can use it for sirens and sleigh bells next year and the mayor's tree lighting. So thank you, Priscilla, for your work on that, and also for setting something up special for the town employees to come and enjoy. Director Spillman shared that Lisa Mears, she's the administrative assistant over at the Public Works Department, has been an exceptional help to her and all the staff at Public Works. She has stepped up in many ways over the last couple of months, so we wanted to make sure we highlighted her and the hard work she does. Buddy Miller is our facility supervisor. He's been cross-training and helping Frank Young with inspections. And we really thank Buddy for his willingness to help Frank when he needs the help right now. So please willing to pass that along to him. Let's see, I have this one. One more thing. The department directors wanted to do something for all of the different departments in town just to kind of show our appreciation for them. We took the first Wednesday of December, the second Wednesday, and then just yesterday. The first Wednesday, we went over to the police department to thank them for, this is at the Public Works, this is the spread. We took over, every director and every department brought snacks to share with the other departments, and Pub Works likes energy drinks, so we've got energy drinks, packaged snacks, all kinds of stuff. This is at the police department. All of the Public Works guys showed up at the police department to say thank you, and they also got a tour while they were there. This is at the Public Works, and we all went, and a lot of the police officers came over to the Public Works department, told them thank you for a job well done. And yesterday was town hall and the library, so we have a really good team, and I'm thankful for everybody pitching in and trying to, bring the holiday cheer, and that's my report.
Thank you. Can we make sure that we give a shout out to Lowe's in Talk of the Town?
Yes, we can do that.
We really need to. Yeah, that's a great thing. Well, there is no further business on the agenda tonight. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.